my gosh, this is so exciting. Facebook world, we're coming to you live from all of our living rooms. So every Saturday morning we have a team, like virtual cafe, and where people can jump on and either drink coffee together or work out together or both. And it just so happened that these three amazing women jumped on to work out with me. And literally towards, like, in the middle of our workout, I unmuted myself and I was like, hey, everybody, think of this question. And then after we ended, I was like, surprise, we're going live together on Facebook. Totally sweaty messes, no makeup. Our kids are running around, so expect that to happen. But each of these three women have really inspired me, and I know for a fact have inspired change in hundreds of lives in their circle, whether or not it's people that have reached out to them or not. And I'm so inspired by them, and I wanted each of them to kind of share a glimpse of their transformation story, where they were at before they ever started, joining our team, and before they started thinking about potentially coaching, all their misconceptions, their fears, and then where they're at now, because it's mind-blowing. So I'm going to go first, and since I just put this on them, like, hey, we're doing this right now, ready to go, I'm going to give them a second to kind of collect their thoughts, but I'm going to kind of recap my story, which many of you know, but some of you may not, for those of you who were new friends on here. But I started this adventure of partnering with Beachbody and trying out the programs and Shakeology and trying out coaching 3 years and 4 months ago. It was right after I think my son is drawing with markers on a chalkboard. Yep, that sounds about right. I had just had my first son. This one's my second. And I was working full-time in a prison as a registered nurse. And right after I had him, I had severe low back pain to where I could barely hold him. And at the time, my job was very stressful as well. I never thought I wanted to be a stay-at-home or work-from-home mom. Not any offense to women who do that. I think it's so admirable, but it just wasn't. I never thought that was me. I always loved to do things outside the home and was very I'm just that kind of human. Until I had a baby. And then I was like, I can't go back to work. I don't want someone else to raise him. And I struggle bus, but I couldn't financially afford to just stay home. And that's when I saw this chick's abs and before and after picture on Facebook, total stranger. And she's like, hey, I just had a baby and I struggled losing baby weight. And now this program really helped me. So long story short, I reached out to her. I said, I want nothing to do with coaching. I don't have time. I work 40 to 60 hours a week in prison as a nurse, and I have a baby. I don't have time for any of that. And she said, no problem. Just in case, here's how you get people to join you if you have family. And that's where it started. And I started to realize, my background's in holistic health and nutrition. I started to realize, wow, this is a powerful platform to help people. So my first program, I lost 16 pounds and almost completely eliminated my back pain. And I was hooked. And I saw something unique in this approach that we have to health and fitness and really quality of life. And there's a need for it because so many people, women especially, are beating themselves up with diets and feeling like a failure and feeling inadequate and feeling like they're broken. And I used to feel that way too. And I found this community of people that are just wanting to support each other to live their best life. And, here I am, almost 3.5 years in. I now have 2 babies at home. I work full-time as a coach, and my job is this. My job is encouraging people to live their best life. And at this point, I've matched my RN income, and I'm able to financially contribute in a great way to my family, and it's just the beginning. And so I'm so, so grateful for what this has done for my life, both in my own health, but also the business aspects for my family. And I just want to shout it from the mountaintops because I feel like it'd be very selfish for me to hold on to by myself. Plus, it's way more fun to meet women like these three on this screen That's a weird thing to say. But I get to work with them every single week throughout the week, and it's so much fun to just have this incredible positive community. So now that you know a little bit about my story, I am actually going to, they don't know the order. So drum roll, please, introducing Sarah Holland. Sarah and I have gotten to work together for now, like just 2 years, over 2 years now, 2.5 years, 2.5 years. She has an incredibly inspiring story, so I'm going to kick it over to you, Sarah.
Okay, thank you. It's hard to follow Jessica, but I'm excited to share my story. So like 2.5 years ago, it was December of whatever year that was. I can't do math when I'm on camera. It was December, and it was like, you know, Christmas time, New Year's resolutions time, and I knew that I needed something different. I needed to do something differently than I ever had before. At the time, I was struggling with anxiety. I'd been struggling with anxiety for a couple years at that point, and sometimes it was very severe and debilitating. I was also dealing with thyroid issues, chronic fatigue, like all these health problems popping up. I was 30 pounds overweight, and I was working in a corporate job, doing marketing for an engineering company. Like basically I was responsible for helping win work for all the people that worked there. And so it was lots of deadlines, lots of pressure that I felt like, you know, if we don't have enough work, people are going to lose their jobs, you know, all these things. So I was very stressed out, which didn't help with my anxiety. I'm a stress eater, so I overate, lots of emotional eating happening, and it was just bad. I knew that if I kept going down that path, I was never going to get better. And I was to the point where I was desperate to feel like myself, to have energy again, to be able to keep up with my kids. I would get tired playing with them at the park. Like I couldn't like walk to the park with them without being exhausted. I was desperate to feel better, and that's really what sparked this whole journey. It was watching Jessica and her transformation. We've known each other for probably most of our lives, and so she was on Facebook sharing her journey, losing her weight. And at first I thought, oh, it'll work for a little while, but then it's just going to come right back. And then, you know, because that was the experience that I always had. I would lose weight, do something, lose weight, and then I would gain it back because I never really changed my lifestyle. And so watching her and then watching her be consistent, I was like, okay, maybe I want to try this. But I knew that I had to make it a lifestyle. It couldn't be like one day thing and then I'm going to stop and gain all the way back, because I had done that over and over again. I didn't want to do that again. And so I decided to sign up as a coach, mostly for the accountability. I've kind of always wanted my own business of some kind. I've always had that like entrepreneurial like desire, but I didn't know what or where or how. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just do this as a little like side gig thing, you know, it could be fun and it'll give me accountability. And the community was not something that I expected. I knew I needed to surround myself with more people who were living a healthy lifestyle, but I didn't activate the community and the coaching community and the accountability that it would have on my life. And it just, once I got started, and you know, there were tough times, I had to work through my emotional eating habits and stress eating, but I was able to do. And so I lost 30 pounds while I was still working, still being mom to 2 kids, 2 little ones, and doing the daycare drop-offs and pickups in the mornings, and then getting my workouts done evenings or early mornings, meal prepping, all that. And it worked. I was able to lose 30 pounds. I fell in love with this whole coaching thing. Like Jessica shared, that being other women, that they can have that healthy lifestyle too, that you, even though you're a busy mom, we can do this. We have time, the time we need to do this. We can make the time, we can make ourselves a priority for 30 minutes. And I just love it. Since then, I can't remember when I was able to leave. I was able to leave my job, I think 2 years ago about, and it's been amazing. It's been a big transformation for our family. You know, before that, with 2 working parents working 40 plus hours a week and kids in daycare, our family was like ships passing in the night. I think I've calculated that I spent like 2.5 hours a day with my kids while they were awake. And most of that time was like, hurry up and get ready for school, hurry up and get ready for bed, or like, hurry up and eat your dinner. Like, that was the extent of my interaction with my kids for the most part on weekdays. And so having time with them, being home, you know, being able to run this business from balancing that with being present with them has been a huge blessing. So that's my story.
So amazing. And I know that, like, honestly, I could sit here and interview each of them for an hour each, because they have so many details and the things that they've overcome. And I have been able to watch it, and it's been such a blessing. But thank you so much, Sarah. That was so powerful. All right, Naomi, you and Remington are up next. Da da da.
Oh man, I was supposed to go last. I've been doing this, I think, 1.5 years now, somewhere around there. I don't know. I joined in March.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, March. I went into this out of complete and total desperation just to lose weight. I'd been overweight since I had my first daughter. I had her at 19, and just always had tried something. You know, I did the Atkins diet. I did the South Beach diet. I went on my own crazy diet where I dropped my calories down to like 900 a day, and literally like egg whites and frozen spinach, which, by the way, is disgusting. And I worked out 3 hours a day on a treadmill, and I hate running, and I gained weight. I did that for, I think I did it for 5 or 6 months, and I actually wound up gaining weight from it. But when I joined with Jessica, it was out of complete and total desperation to get healthy. My whole family, both my mom and my dad's sides, have huge health issues, and I just didn't want to do that with my kids. I wanted to be around for them, and the rate I was going, I wasn't going to be, and I knew that. I was also in a state of like major self-loathing. I couldn't even stand in front of the mirror and brush my teeth without thinking the worst thoughts about myself. I would avoid mirrors like the plague. I literally would stand with my back to my mirror and brush my teeth. If I ever crossed a mirror and looked at myself, I would just start crying. I was just in this major self-loathing. I didn't understand why my husband wanted to be with me. I didn't understand why anybody wanted to be around me, but that was my own personal thing. But a lot of it had to do with my weight. Like, I put so much like thought into how I looked that I was like, oh, well, if I had 6-pack abs and I had like the perfect body, I would love myself again. And that's where I was. And, you know, I thought, if I do what Jessica did and I'll get her awesome body, then I'll be happy with myself. And it was total, now I can look back and be like, that's really stupid. But I wound up having major success. I lost my first 50 pounds in 3 months. And I just got like super excited that something actually worked for me. But along the way with losing the weight, I discovered that my weight had nothing to do with how I felt about myself, and that I needed to actually work on my inside just as much as I worked on my outside. And I think for me, more than all the weight that I lost and everything, this opportunity helped me, you know, love myself again. And now I get to pass on. I have 4 girls, and passing that on to my girls. And I tell them constantly, like, you can do whatever you set your mind to, as long as you're like positive. And, you know, I think we live in a world that constantly tells our kids that they're not perfect, and constantly tells our kids that they need to change something about themselves. And I think that's crap. And that's something that I learned through this whole process. And the coaching part of it kind of just, I did it for the discount. I couldn't afford Shakeology. I couldn't afford the challenge pack. I actually threw it on a credit card and had no clue how I was going to pay for it. But I actually wound up finding success with coaching just because I was excited that I found something that worked for me. And all I did was share it with my friends and family. I mean, like Megan, I harassed her for months. about doing this with me. But it's just, this opportunity has really been such a godsend to me. I wish I would have found it sooner, and I wish I would have done it sooner, just because of how much it has positively impacted not just my health, but both my emotional state. My kids are much happier because I'm a happier mom. My husband's happier because, who doesn't want a wife that feels good about their body? Like, there's a lot that goes into all of this, and it's so much more than just, oh, I like to work out and I drink these, shakes every day. It's so much more than all of that. That's my feel.
So powerful. I love it. And my favorite quote that I will always quote Naomi in is when I first did, I think it was our first little interview that I did with her, because it was so amazing, you guys. She not only lost 50 pounds in 3 months, but she ended up dropping 70 pounds. And that was in your first, when did you hit the 70-pound mark? Do you remember?
7 months.
7 months, yeah. Insane. So it's been so cool, not only to watch that, but also watch you grow with the mindset aspect, like you were saying. And I know one of your favorite tasks that we do, so in our challenge groups, we always have a mindset portion. And so I have this task of look in yourself in the mirror and say, I am a badass 10 times. And I remember in the beginning, Naomi was like, this is so, everyone is like, this is so awkward. But now, to see where you're at, and like you said, the influence it's had on your girls is so amazing. So thank you for sharing. Your story is so incredible. I just absolutely love it. Mom of 5 who has never had good internet. All the things that I hear of why people don't do this with finances and time and kids and internet, Naomi's got it all, and she's still kicking ass. So thank you for sharing. I love it. All right, Meghan, you are up, my dear.
Okay, hi guys. So I started because I was seeing Naomi get such positive results, and like she just said, sorry, my kids are in the background. I'm sure you can hear them. I'm on like she just said, she was pounding me for months to join her, and the most attractive thing to me was I saw her attitude change. I saw this spark be relit in her as a mom and as a person. She just started coming to school, because I would see her every day picking up the kids. She started coming to school happier, and she was dropping insane amounts of weight. And I was like, oh, what is she doing? So I was a little intrigued, yet I was so far away from okay, yeah, I'm just doing this. I had so many insecurities in myself, and I had tried other things before and not seen results, and not had the ability to make myself follow through with it. And so I didn't want to do it. I was so hesitant. So I talked to my husband for a little while about it. And my thing was, I'm going to do the 21-day fix program, and I'm going to do it for 21 days. If I don't like it, I'm getting all of my money back. And if I miss a day of my workouts or I miss a day of my nutrition, then I haven't completed it. And so I knew that when I did that, I was going to be dedicated to that 21 days, that first 21 days. And within that first 21 days, I started seeing results. I started not having as many body aches. I started sleeping better. I just started feeling better overall. And I had that determination and the dedication because I was part of a team, because we had a Facebook group that I can go to every day, and I would see that sweaty selfie station or that word of encouragement that made me press play on my workout, that made me focus on my nutrition. And so for me, I never realized how much I needed a community of people that were doing the same thing I was doing, that were focusing on their nutrition and focusing on living healthier lives. And the fact that a lot of them were busy moms doing it pushed me to want it more for myself. I still, after the first few months, I didn't sign up as a coach, and I told Naomi there was no way I would ever coach. And so the first few months I just focused on myself, and then I figured I was being really selfish because it was working. So I started coaching, and I love coaching but I also had a lot of negative thoughts about me being a coach in the very beginning. I didn't know everything. I didn't know how to do, like I couldn't do a push-up all the way. So how was I going to be able to help somebody else in their journey? Like I had so many negative thoughts about me being a coach. But once I started really diving into, okay, I can help other people at the same time I'm helping myself. So whatever I learn along my journey, I'm going to be teaching to other moms and to other people to help make them stronger. Because if I'm struggling in an area, most likely somebody else on my team is struggling in that same area or something very similar. So whatever I learned about myself, I can pass that on to somebody else. And yeah, even though I've lost 50 pounds and I feel great about myself now, I'm still able to impart that to people. I'm still able to say, hey, I had a really rough day. I did not work out yesterday. This month was supposed to be my month of working out every single day. I was so dead exhausted yesterday and I had so much going on that I couldn't do that. So if I tell people about this, then they're going to be like, hey, it's okay to have a rough day. It's okay to, slip up as long as you get right back up on that horse and you dust yourself off and keep going. So I've learned so much within this that I think the biggest thing I've learned is that I need a community. I need other people around me and surrounding me to help me and to encourage me. So that's why I love coaching, and that's what keeps me going, is the fact that I get to help influence other people.
I love that. I'm sorry. We warned everybody, didn't we, that the kids would show up in this somewhere.
Yeah.
I think there might be a little bit of energize in this, so this is going to be a really fun day. But thank you so much for sharing, Meghan. It's been so inspiring. You really have blown all of us away with your inside out transformation. And for those who've been following your journey and who read like your posts when you share where you were in the beginning, it's just like it's so inspiring, because I know that there's so many moms out there who are in that place right now, who have lost all hope, who have lost their identity because they've poured everything into their kids. And not that we would give anything for our kids, but there's something we all have learned about the value of investing in ourselves first, so our families can get the best of us and not what's left of us. I know that I'm a rhyming machine, but it's like that always resonated so deeply with me, because when I was working full-time in prison, my boys did get what was left of me and not what was best of me. And I think we all have now experienced the quality of life that we have and that our families get because of investing in ourselves and committing to really being the best version of ourselves. So I love all of you and your stories, and you've all been inspiring to me, so thank you for sharing. So we want to, for those of you who are watching, we want to make sure that you know how to join us. If you're at that place where you're like, man, I can so resonate with their stories, I'm ready for a change, nothing's worked for me before, I've tried everything. I feel like we probably all have said at one point, I've tried everything and nothing works. But it's not true if you haven't actually tried and done this. It's a very holistic approach of intentional nutrition. This is not starvation or deprivation. You get quick workouts. We all are moms on here, so we understand time. And we just did our workouts, and it took us, under 30 minutes from our living room with our kids around, and we all broke a sweat, and it was so much fun. We do drink Shakeology, most of us, because of the nutrient density and the energy boost and the digestive support and the inflammatory support, all those things that it gives us. And we have an incredible community. So what we have coming up next is we all will be starting a new accountability group on July 29th with our newest program, Morning Meltdown 100. And we're very excited about that because it's a commitment to 100 workouts. You do it on your own pace. So say something happens, for all of us, something happens and we skip a workout, right? You're not off. You just you just do it the next day. So it's not 100 days. It's a commitment to 100 workouts. And then we will have the mindset training in there that has helped all of us really change our lives. And then, we'll be helping with like meal plan, like how do you do this as a busy mom? What do your meals like? Do you have recipe ideas? We get all those questions, and we have all those resources for you in our challenge groups. So again, July 29th. We also have a men's group that's launching that actually my husband and his buddy is going to be leading, and that's starting the same day. They're doing a different program. They're doing P90X3, but it's open to any guy who wants to participate in that.
Mama.
Hold on 1 second. Almost done. I promise. Here, you can say hi to everybody. And then as far as the coaching side of things, like this is what has really changed, I think, kept us all accountable and really given us that incredible community and helped us. I don't know about you guys, but I've never imagined having the dreams and the vision for my family and my life that I have now. That coaching has given me that. I never, like, I had a great job as an RN making good money, but that was my cap. Like, I never dreamed of if I could have anything, what would I want? And that's what coaching's really given me, was that almost taught me how to dream. And excuse me, almost done. And given me a vest. Okay, go run outside with the ducks. And then you can have a chocolate ice cream bar. Go run outside with the ducks. It's a Shakeology ice cream bar. Go run outside with the ducks and I'll give you an ice cream. Oh my gosh. Bribery. Anyways, it's like a whole nother world that has opened up. Oh, okay. So, wrapping up, I promise. Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 Eastern time, we will be hosting a webinar to talk about the business side of coaching. So we'll be sharing what we do. You will be hearing some stories of real, like we are very real, as you can tell. Life comes up, and so if you're like, I don't think I have the time, I don't know how I could do this, I don't have my dream body yet, I don't have a six-pack, I don't have any background in health and fitness, it doesn't matter. We teach you all of that, and you are kind of like an facilitator between the programs and people and your clients, really. So we'll teach we'll teach you how you get paid, how to maximize the compensation plan, what's realistic as far as the longevity of a job like this. And then next Saturday, the 27th, we'll be hosting a live event here in Sonora. If you're not local, they have them around the country, but it's our super weekend event, and it's an open house edition for coaching. So we will be doing a workout together. It's free for anyone. We'll be sampling some Shakeology, and then we'll be watching a really cool video just explaining about coaching together and just have some community time. So if you're interested, let us know. Reach out to any of us, and we'd be happy to facilitate that. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Ladies, thank you. I never say ladies. My friends, thank you for sharing your story. I hope you guys have a great Saturday with your families, and we'll talk to you all soon. Say bye. Can you blow kisses? Oh, that was a good one. You get a double fist blow kisses. All right, bye, everybody.